Hello back, and we are here today, Vishal, with a new topic. And this is why planning applications get rejected, and
Okay,
more important, how to avoid it.
right.
And to spice things up a little bit, I changed a little bit the question type that I'm asking you today.
Mm.
So we jump into the cold water
Mhm.
together
Yeah.
and try to make like this. I would say for some of the people, not obviously not for you and not for people who love property, but the boring topic of planning applications and everything what's behind it. And, we have to learn about it a little bit more fun. So we start with the question, with some questions I'm asking you, and you are allowed to say only like 3 words. Like you have to decide which of the 3 words. It's a myth, it's a truth, or it depends.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's
Nothing
see.
more.
No, no,
No,
no
no
explanation at
explanation.
all.
No
Oh
explanation.
my God.
I know that will be hard for you, but we will
I know.
we will make it there. Okay. So planning permission and building regulations are the same thing.
Incorrect.
This is not a word I'm looking for. We have 3 words: myth, truth, or it depends. So it's a myth then.
It's a myth. Yes.
Okay, good. Stick to the plan.
Okay.
If my neighbor builds it, I can build it.
Myth.
Permitted development means no risk.
Myth.
It's just paperwork.
Myth.
Okay. The council just wants to say no.
Myth.
I can apply myself and save money.
It depends.
If it's a small extension, it will definitely get approved.
Myth.
Okay. Good job. We are done with the first round.
All right. Okay.
How did it feel?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Sure. I think apart from the first one, I said incorrect because it's strongly no, that is not correct. Yeah. So answer
Yeah,
needs to
no,
be
we
myth.
stick to the
Okay.
plan.
Stick to the plan. Okay.
Okay. The next few questions, I wanted to answer what is the mistake in this scenario. Okay.
Okay.
So please just walk us through what is the mistake in this thought that I'm sharing. There are 4 thoughts I'm sharing.
And I
So
can explain on this one. Yeah.
yes, you have a little bit more time.
Okay.
A homeowner starts building before formal approval because the architect says it's likely to pass. What's the mistake here?
You can never presume, because if you're putting in a planning application, you have to wait for the application to be approved before you put the first spade on the ground.
Okay. Next one. They assume their loft conversion is permitted development. What's the mistake? Let me guess the assumption.
It depends, but the guidelines are very clear, and sometimes it can be misread in terms of what you can do. So, not always true, because on a semi-detached property, you can go up to 40 cubic square meter. In a detached property, you can go up to 50 cubic square meter. And lots of issues in terms of the head heights internally, this location of the staircase. There's quite a lot of things goes into a loft conversion before you do anything.
Okay. What's the mistake here? They ignore neighbor objections.
They ignored neighbors' objection. Um, no, they can't. If they have put the planning application in, okay, the neighbors will have a say on it. And if something the neighbor is not comfortable with, he will object. Okay, and then the council will take that into the consideration if the objection is worthwhile considering. Okay, most of the time what happens is it's just neighbors moaning about somebody else building on the boundary. Okay, so the council listen to those things, but when they look at the policies and things, they go like, no, it doesn't make any sense. They don't do anything with it. But sometime if you are applying for planning application which is little bit more than the guidelines, okay, council will ask you saying, look, neighbors not happy with that. Could you look to change the plans to suit X, Y, and Z? So that happens.
Okay. Next mistake, or was the mistake here? What's the mistake here? Not or where. They design first, check policy later.
No, you always check the policies first and then design, because we work in Northwest and there are loads of councils, and some councils do have a different guidelines. Okay, so the one is a national guidelines that you know what you need to be doing, and then after that, all the councils do have a supplementary planning guidelines, and they differ council to council. So we should always check what we're designing with.
Okay. Then we jump already on the red flag part. That means, what's a red flag if you see immediately in the planning application? Name one or two.
If something we see on a planning is a planning application's already been made, is that what you mean?
If you see a planning application, what red flag? What I can't talk anymore today. What red flags do you see immediately? Basically, what jumps always into your eye when you have a planning application in front of you?
The scale of the proposal. Okay, sometimes the scale can be much larger than what your naked eyes would actually see it and go like, okay, is that going to get approved? So that is usually the first one.
Okay, another one?
Area, or you can say it massing. Yeah, the massing of the proposal.
Okay. Is there another one, would you say?
Massing of the proposal, approximate distance from your neighbor boundaries. Okay, and if you are, what's the overall look of a street scene will look like? If the houses are quite modern, it's fine. If they are quite a heritage site, or not heritage site, something which got a bit more architecture to it, and you look to do something really funkier over there, it might not get passed because you're changing the character of the street.
Okay. What tells you a project will get delayed?
What project get delayed? I think we talked in terms of checking the planning policies beforehand. Okay, so who are you working with? Make sure they are aware of the planning policies of the local council, that what you need to be doing with, and so so that can delay if you have stick the planning application in and you have not checked those things, so that can delay it. And if you are looking to do extension which is slightly larger in size, and whoever you're working with, your designer, and they tell you about saying this is slightly outside the comfort zone, okay, make sure you always speak to your neighbors and explain them this is what you want to do. Yeah, so when the application goes in, they are not going to be the first one to object. Okay, or they can actually support your application as well. Yeah, so as you can comment on an application, it can be a negative comment, or your neighbor can say that, yeah, quite understand what my neighbor is looking to do, so I support his application. So it's like a bit of a positive thing to the planning application, which helps the planners to look at it and understand what we're looking to do.
Okay. What behavior from homeowners causes the most problems?
Most common one is they ask a builder to come around, ask them to price the job. Builder prices the job without any drawings and everything. And if they start the job, that's a big no. But even if they don't start the job and they go like, yeah, it's going to cost you X, but you need planning application. When we try to put the planning application in, and it's different in scale and massing what they already quoted, and the builder comes around later on saying it's not going to cost you this, it's going to cost you that, then who do you blame? So the builders are not the first one to be contacted that how much it's going to cost. I understand why people do it, but they should look to avoid it and have a professional guide first saying what we need.
I think this specifically, this problem you are mentioning always at first, and in every video we so far did together. It's really like, just want to highlight that. You don't have to answer, but it's really like it's a huge thing.
It is, and I just really feel for the people who go through this pain. And I don't know if I can share one little thing. I'm working
Of
with a
course.
client at the moment, and literally is a retired couple. Okay, they're given £50,000 to a local contractor. He's done a single story extension, told them he's going to follow all the building regulation rules and everything else. He's not contacted the council, and literally he used the conservatory foundation to build the extension on top of it, not used any insulation into the roof. Okay, plasterboarded everything. From outside, nobody can say that it's not done a good job. It looks fantastic from outside, but the materials he used, foundation, roofing, nothing complies with the regulation. And the client has spent £50,000 with him, and now his phone is switched off, and the client's stuck with half-finished extension. And when I went there, I'm like, it needs planning permission first. And then it says, what about the wall? What about the foundation? He's like, I don't know. Trying to help him out now, and it's going to cost him more to fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting the drawings done, following the process would have costed him, £3,000.
If you try to save on the wrong end, then it's like basically.
Yeah. I don't think he was trying to save any money. I think he was just what support and guidance was given to him. Okay, he thought, oh, the builder knows everything, he's going to follow it. No, but that's not the case. So,
well,
sorry.
Well, now he's in good hands, obviously. So I'm maybe in few weeks or months you can share how you turned this around. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we'll see.
What do councils instantly reject?
Oh, what do council reject? Easily reject.
Instantly.
The depth of the extension. Okay, if the depth of the extension is more than, like, we are based in Warrington, so if it's a semi-detached house and if your extension is a little bit over 3 meters, okay, first reaction will be no, because that's what you're allowed. But again, in your drawing, if you are quite clear why you're extending it more, and you show the distances from the neighboring windows and this, that, and everything else, it's fine. But usually that is the first thing they see in a plan. Then they check the heights, that what the heights you are actually drawing it to. If a single story extension, how high is coming at the back or even on the side. Okay, if you're doing a dormer conversion for a loft, sometimes people look to increase the ridge height, okay, which council don't like. I've seen lots of them got approved, but that it needs to be designed a little bit properly if you do want to do that. So those are the few things the council look at.
Okay, amazing. So now,
yes,
we want to have a little bit a sneak peek in your brain. That means we want to basically think or see what you can think about different things.
Right.
When you look at the property for the first time, what are you analyzing in your head? So basically not what you're telling directly to the customer, but what is going on in your head? What do you think? Like, I know there are more things going on in your head than you would tell the customer or the client, obviously, or the homeowner.
Yes. Look, client, when they see me on the day one, even if you're going for a discovery, even if you're doing a discovery call with them, or we going and seeing them face to face, they would love to get an answer saying what we can do, where we can extend, where the room will be, where the kitchen will be. And I just need to bring them down 2 steps and say, look, those things can be designed, that's fine. Okay, first I need to understand that what you need and why you need it. Yeah. So when I go,
but no, so when I can stop you here, because you're drifting into the process.
Okay.
I want to know what you look at a property for the first time. Like when you look at a property for the first time, what are you analyzing in your head? If the client wasn't there, what would you
Okay.
like? What would be your thinking process be?
Look up.
How
I
you
will
analyze
have
the
a
project?
yeah. I will have a basic idea what the client is looking to do. If he's saying he's looking to do a wraparound extension or two-story extension, loft conversion, so my brain will start the moment I come and park my car on the street. I'll start looking surroundingly what other people have done. If they have done something similar, if there's a precedent on the street, okay, and then I'll quickly just check how far they are from the neighboring boundaries and so and so. When I'm taking the measurement inside the house and things, I'll be looking which are the load bearing walls, which are not. Okay, anything, any work the client has possibly done in the house, which is they have done it recently or renovated it, to see that if you don't need to touch those spaces, can be good because they already spent money on it. And then when you are at the garden looking at the house, then you're trying to observe and seeing what the other people have done on the sides. Again, the distance from the boundary, how much you can come out. Okay, the council says 3 to 4 meters, but sometimes you need a little bit more than that. And then in my brain, I'm already started designing, saying what it could look like. So those are the things I try to capture. So when we actually go into the design and client says, "Oh, I want to do this because of this," then I've taken some particular photographs and go like, "Okay, yes, you want to do that, but you can't do it because of I took this picture on site and it shows there, and that's the reason to do it or not to do it." And sometimes I'm going saying, "What have you thought about this option? So why are you saying that?" Then I say, "Look, because neighbors done it this way, and if you do it this way, this is an advantage to you." So those are the kind of nitty-gritty things we're picking up.
Okay. What are you checking before you even start drawing? Because obviously, a lot of people come to you to say like, I just need the drawings.
Yes.
But yeah, but which we are not doing. So just to clarify that in this position now. So, but what are you checking before you even start the drawings?
So before I answer, is it when I start doing their proposal? Is that what you mean?
No, before you start the drawings.
Like
Like,
drawing their proposal, that what they want. Is that correct?
or what you agreed to, like
Yes.
drawings on the paper.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the communication with them what you had before. It's just like
Yes.
at one point you sit down and start the drawings, and everything what's before
The
that.
process is simple. First we do the survey, and then we come and do the existing drawing, what they look like today. At that time, the brain is not thinking much. We're literally trying to draw what is existing. Yeah. Once I have a conviction, we start doing the proposal. That's where the brain start downloading all the information which what I have seen on the site, what the client have said me on the first meeting, when we were having a discovery call, what did they say, because we take all the notes down that what the client has said at that stage. So maybe when we're designing 3-4 weeks later, and then I tell the client, on the first meeting you said this, could we have this over here? And they go like, oh yes, we forgot about that. So when we're designing it at that time, we try to unbox all the things which is possibly gone in my brain and what the client have told me, and just try to work slowly with that. But as I said to all the clients as well, we allow for unlimited changes. So if something we have missed, something you have missed, okay, let us know, because we're still in the drawing phase. We'll make sure we get it right.
Amazing.
Once it's built, it's done.
That's true. How do you read a council?
How do we?
How do you read a council?
How do we read a council?
Yeah, how do you read a council? So maybe as well the rules or the what everything like the council says about this.
Yes. So yeah. Okay. No. So how do you read the council? Okay. There are national guidelines. If it's something you can do on a permitted development, there are national guidelines that you know what you can or what you can't do. Okay, but every other and every single council will have something called a supplementary planning guidelines for a house extensions or whatever they name it differently. Okay, but mostly it's called supplementary guidelines for house extensions or whatever. And in there, they will have the breakdown of, if you're doing a single story extension, what they expect you that to look like. Yeah. So they will explain you if they are only allowing it up to 3 meters, or they can, in certain cases, they can go up to 4 meters, even in being in semi-detached properties. And so you look at those policies
Yeah.
there. But
sorry to interrupt. Don't want to have an explanation what's in there. I want to know how you read it. Like, what you look at first. What do you think?
okay.
Like if you are experienced and you have a text like this, you read it differently, obviously, than someone who never read this before. So you know exactly where you have to look at, what you want to know. I just want to, like, I know it's a little bit tough for you today, but
Okay, I get it.
I really want to know, like, what's in your brain when you have this in front of you.
Yeah. So just go to a normal Google search. You know which council you are living in. If you are living in Warrington, just say planning guidelines for home extensions. Okay.
Yes.
You, in top 2, you will find a PDF document, the council website. Download that. Okay. And in your first introduction, it will tell you, and if they've been updated in last few years, they are quite interactive. Okay. So you just click on what you're looking to. You're looking for a loft conversion. So you click on the loft conversion, it will take you to that page. It will explain you what you can, what you can't do. And actually, most of the councils do have a little diagrams showing that, when they are explaining a volume or when they are explaining a distance from the boundaries or whatever, they actually draw those as well. Okay. And quite neatly, they show exactly where things needs to be. So those are the guidelines. Those are the things we need to follow.
Okay.
So they can download it from there, and it's available for each and every council.
Yeah. Is there another way a person can read that, or like, where's the focus when you read it? Like, obviously you make sure that everything works, but do you focus on specific information when you read that, or do you pick the information you need, or just read everything straight through?
Look, I don't expect people to read it completely and make sure they make sense of it.
This is not the question. I want to pick your brain. And at the moment, you are telling this really general. So everybody can download the council statement, obviously, and read it through. I want to know what you are seeing when you're reading it.
What I'm seeing when I'm reading it.
Like, what is, like, I don't want to have an explanation, how do I read a paper? I want to have the explanation, what do you see and what you focus on when you are reading the paper?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're putting me on the spot here.
Of course.
Lots of things it by heart anyway. Okay, but few things, when you're not clear, you go back there and have a look. And to be honest, just trying to think. I think mainly we look at the volume. Okay, because we're doing a lot of conversion. They will talk about the volume. They will talk about the distances from the boundaries, and specifically when we actually do go and double check many times is when the site is on a corner plot. And corner plot side extension can be slightly trickier, that it does fall under the permitted development, but it doesn't, because it needs planning, because the proximity coming from a visibility line from the other side, this quite complicated. So those are the time we just need to really get into it and understand what the policies are saying.
You see, you don't read the whole thing. You have your 3 things go to, you always check, because you don't know it by heart. It's a different thing of,
it is.
Like,
yeah.
If you read it the first time, you read it from A to Z, and you don't. And I could swear by that as well, that you don't read the full thing. So, okay. This answer is okay for me.
Okay.
What makes you confident that an application will pass?
Ooh, what makes it confident?
What
If
makes
we have
you
worked,
confident?
okay, yeah.
You. It's
If
all
we have
about you
worked in
and
that
you and
area
your
before,
brain. So.
yes, okay. If we have worked in the area, okay, and we have done some similar applications before, so I know these things can be approved. Yeah. And again, if we know that we are following the guidelines, by book, X, Y, and Z, we tick all the boxes, okay, then we are quite confident that yes, it's going to get approved. There's not going to be any problem. Okay. Only problem comes in when the client expectation is slightly different. So we'll tell the client saying, look, we are a little bit outside the guidelines, okay, but looking at the positioning of your site where you are, these policies will not apply to you because you don't have a neighbor, yeah, and your house is actually open into the woods. Okay, so if the council is saying you can do only this extension, this size, but yes, but you're not bothering by doing a slightly larger, you're not going to affect somebody else because there is nobody else there. So we are confident, but again, we just tell the client saying there's a very slight risk, but 99% of the time we do get an approval comes through. So
Amazing. How is it in the UK with the council? Do you have everything do you do everything digital, or are you building the relationships as well with the different councils in order to get better and faster results?
no, there is no better and faster result. Okay, they are. The good thing is that all the councils look applications independently. Okay, so it doesn't matter that I've done two applications for two neighbors; they will assess them completely differently. Yeah, they have their checklist. They will go with the guidelines and things. Okay, so it's not that because I've sent them lots of applications, they know me better, or so they will approve it quicker or things. No, they'll have their strict guidelines. They validate the application, they upload it, they have 21 days to notify the neighbors, so neighbors will know, and they have an option to.
It's clear that they have the rules,
Yes,
but
yeah.
we all know business is made between people and not on paper. So obviously, like in Germany, there are the same rules, but you always have an easier life, especially as an architect, when you have a good relationship with.
Yes. So on a planning, no. The answer is for a planning answer is no. But when you're doing the building control application, because we know the officers who are checking the drawings and things, so sometimes we can ask them things saying, look, we're working on this, what about this? So you have a direct point of contact with the planning with the building control officer. But in planning, no.
Okay.
Maybe in the bigger schemes and bigger offices, and people might have that, but on a smaller residential stuff, no.
Okay. What is the very first question you ask a client? One question.
Why do you need an extension?
How are you is not it's not a question.
Okay. Okay. If the call is for if they are asking for an extension, let's ask them.
What one question?
Yeah.
Just
One question. Yeah. So it depends what they're asking me.
no. Not depend. It's
Why?
the first thing what came into your mind.
Okay. Why are you thinking to do this work?
Okay. Thanks. I know I'm challenging you. So
Yes.
now I challenge you even more because now I
Okay.
set the timer. Okay. I have a question here, and I just set my timer. Exactly. So, and you have 60 seconds to explain the following. Okay.
Okay.
When I read it, I put a timer, and you have 60 seconds to explain. After 60 seconds, I shut you off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing for the audience who is listening to this, I have no idea what's about to come next.
No problem.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no preparation. It's been done. Yeah.
It's a test. Explain a homeowner planning application in 60 seconds as if you are talking to someone who has never heard of it before.
Okay, so planning application process is It's quite simple. So we need to come down to the property, take the measurements. We'll drop your existing plans. We drop your proposed plan. Okay, once you're happy with the design, we prepare the whole planning application pack, and then we'll submit to the council and we'll liaise with the council to get you the approval. During the whole process, you do not need to speak to the council. We will be working as your agent to do all of this work, and we'll make sure we'll do our best to get you the planning permission, as long as we are following all the rules.
Amazing. 18 seconds left. Great job.
All right. Okay.
Amazing. Do you have anything on your heart about the planning applications we did not address yet? I know we are talking a lot about all the things and they're coming, and when we look back to our videos we already did, like there are a lot of topics that are coming up again and again. So yeah, to spice it up a little bit and to see different perspective on questions, we choose obviously today different ones. But is there anything that you have the feeling now, okay, this one we missed and you want to add it before we round it up for today?
Ooh. Let me... Nothing's coming to my mind, but I think one thing which we will be started doing, if I can share that, is a distance from the boundary, which we actually talked about quite a lot. Okay, so we are having a challenging planning application at the moment where there's a bit of a dispute on how far the property is from the boundary. The council is thinking differently. What's on site is different. What's on a red line boundary map, which is a land registry map, is different. What we need to do is to go through, what's on site. So there's been a bit of a dispute here and there, saying how far it is. So I've gone to the site, took the measurements, sent up a photograph to the officer. So maybe moving forward, what I will be doing, or what I want to emphasize, is we put that particular dimension on the drawings as well, to make sure this is on site. So when the planning officers are assessing the application, they know what's actually on site. So that's a bit of inside advice I can provide.
Thank you so much. Okay, so then we see us in the next video together with another topic. And thank you so much for being open for today's question round.
This was very different because I have no idea what was coming next. So
I will think about something new.
Okay.
So let's see. Then thanks, Vishal, and talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.